Your dream destination awaits you. Can you imagine vacationing in a place that has almost everything Tobago has to offer in a small package? Well, Carriwack Village does just that. In the next half hour, we'll explore everything this property has to offer. I'm Davia Chambers, and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. Red carpet welcome for the Queen of Calypso. Details on the new initiative geared at preserving Tobago's culture, and later, the Dwight York Stadium benefits athletes. How? These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues. We'll be right back.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise, mung by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
What will you do in the event of an earthquake? What will you do in the event of a tsunami? Tobago, there is a need to be prepared. On March 21st, 2017, National Emergency Exercise Day, TEMA brings to you Exercise Exodus, simulation of an earthquake followed by a tsunami affecting the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. Exercise Exodus, there is a need to be prepared. Call TEMA now at 660-7489 for more information.
Carriwack Village is located in the busy area of Crown Point. It was constructed through the expertise of Mr. Alan Clovis and his wife in 1977. It would later open its doors to the public in 1982. Tobago welcomed daughter of the soil Calypso Rose with open arms as she was greeted with dancing and singing. Visitors and representatives of the Tobago House of Assembly at the A&R Robinson International Airport. Here are the details in this report. Have a look.
She's the first artist from the Caribbean to win the prestigious 2017 Victoire de la Musique Award in France for Album of the Year. MacArthur Linda Sandy Lewis, better known as Calypso Rose, captured the award for her 2016 album, Far From Home. And for her most recent accomplishment, the Tobago House of Assembly honored her at a welcome reception at the A&R Robinson International Airport. Calypso Rose, who's originally from Bethel, was the first woman to win the Trinidad Road March competition in 1977 with her song Tempo. She used the opportunity to encourage Tobagonians to always chase their dreams.
Anything you want to do in life, don't let nobody daunt you. You go and do it. Build it, Jesus Christ said. The door is open, and anything you want, you come in and ask, and I am going to give it to you. You have to have the stamina and the determination, and you will get through.
The five-time Calypso Queen title holder reminded the audience to always keep the island's traditions alive. She said, despite traveling the world, her traditional upbringing is what kept her focused.
Never forget your culture, because your culture is what makes you strong, and which is truth.
And the division mandated with preserving the island's tradition. The Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation plans to implement more programs to ensure added opportunities are made available for Tobagonians in the music industry.
The Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation will continue to develop our art form through collaboration with all stakeholders, which would enable opportunities for other Calypsonians who are likely to follow in the steps of Calypso Rose.
Calypso Rose won the National Calypso King competition in 1978, which prompted a name change with her song I Thank Thee and Her Majesty. Also in 1978, she won the Trinidad Road March competition for yet another year with Gimme More Tempo. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
The restaurant at Carriwack serves breakfast, lunch and dinner using organic and fresh herbs from the kitchen garden right here on the property. The food is prepared from scratch and using all fresh ingredients. Farmers also benefit from Carriwack's organic approach to cooking as produce is purchased from them. And in this next story, Tobago is about to benefit from the production of a short film with a very powerful message. Omadara Mills fills us in.
This is Back Bay, Mount Irving. It is one of the main sites where the movie Trafficked was filmed. Trafficked is a feature that tells the story of 3 college friends who get caught up in the drug trafficking trade while on vacation. The producers are currently in the pre-production stage for another Trafficked movie, where they plan to showcase more of the island's attractions. This exposure is expected to help boost tourism on the island.
This time, I think we're going to take full advantage of that and highlight all the tourist spots in Tobago, so that when it goes international again, people won't have a choice but to say no, let's go to Tobago, because what we would have been presented would have been, attractive for them to come to Tobago eventually. So we're going to, even though the film is going to have a very serious message to it, we're going to use it as well to market Tobago as a tourist destination.
The original film and the upcoming series are based on true stories, which the movie's producers researched as part of their Iron Dependency radio program. Human trafficking and drug trafficking are complex issues that affect thousands of people worldwide, and islands like Tobago aren't excluded.
When you accept a job to traffic drugs, you actually signing away your life to either law enforcement or to the pusher, because when you get to your destination, there could be now a human trafficking element involved, because when you think you're going to get your money, you can be trafficked as well. So you may not make it back home. So who knows? Some of the people there's a long list of people missing from both Trinidad and Tobago. Who knows where they went?
Trafficked was first released at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival in 2015, where it won the Best Trinidad and Tobago Fiction Feature category. Since then, Trafficked has been screened at more than 10 film festivals around the world, including Bahamas, Dominica, Cuba, Indonesia, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Mrs. Sinclair explains why the film has had worldwide success.
People can identify with these characters. People can identify with the gullible, with the naive, and the skeptical, and they have them in every audience. And thank God, in every audience that sat and saw it, identified with each of these characters, especially one who was skeptical.
The producers are grateful for the financial support provided by the Tobago House of Assembly for the film. For the second production, they're hoping to have more collaboration with the Assembly. They believe it will help to educate the public about the dangers of human trafficking and drug trafficking. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
This restaurant is usually packed out, as there is never a dull moment when dining. To better set the ambience and help you enjoy your meal, a live band performs here every Friday and Saturday night. With that, I urge you to make your bookings now and don't miss the next performance. The Division of Youth Affairs and Sport and the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy in this next story takes us to the Goodwood Secondary School to perform a powerful skit based on HIV/AIDS. Here's more in this report.
HIV/AIDS education is vital, especially for young students. HIV, or the human immunovirus, is the virus that causes AIDS. It's one of the world's most serious health and development challenges. According to UNAIDS, there were approximately 36.7 million people worldwide living with HIV/AIDS at the end of 2015. Of these, 1.8 million were children. In the same period, 11,000 people in Trinidad and Tobago were living with the disease. So the Student Support Services Unit of the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy hosted an HIV/AIDS caravan to spread awareness about the disease, using a dramatic presentation to engage students of Goodwood High School.
On Valentine's Day, everybody does want a little loving. So I was thinking, after school, before we go soca storm, we could link up. Is in this sick bay you want it this time?
Yes, world boss, is a sick bay I want it this time.
HIV is spread through the transfer of certain bodily fluids. It's transmitted sexually or through sharing hypodermic needles. The students learned that abstaining from sex is the best way to prevent the spread of HIV.
There is no cure for HIV. There is only the antiretroviral medication that slows down the disease and helps you to live a longer, healthier life.
The Student Support Unit also tackled the use of illegal substances.
You have to understand that these substances just cloud your judgment. When you drink and smoke, you can't be able to observe your surroundings.
And the message remained in the minds of the students.
I learned that while it's around examination time, you're not supposed to be in parties, having sex on a whole until marriage, and the use of drugs and alcohol is illegal.
The HIV/AIDS Caravan also visited primary schools around the island. I'm Kern de Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next, details on the new initiative geared at preserving Tobago's culture. Stay tuned. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
What will you do in the event of an earthquake? What will you do in the event of a tsunami? Tobago, there is a need to be prepared. On March 21st, 2017, National Emergency Exercise Day, TEMA brings to you Exercise Exodus, simulation of an earthquake followed by a tsunami affecting the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. Exercise Exodus, there is a need to be prepared. Call TEMA now at 660-7489 for more information.
We're exploring Carrawak Village and you are viewing Let's Talk Tobago. The name of the property was inspired by the Caribs of Carrawak. This hotel expanded from 18 to 24 rooms, allowing it to accommodate a maximum of 80 persons comfortably. Now, the cultural art forms of Tobago are in safe hands, and this island pushes even further for its reservation through an arts academy. Listen up to this report.
Calypso and the speech band are staples in Tobago's traditional oral culture. Now performers can gain certification in this aspect of our heritage. But a curriculum in the oral traditions is just one part of the Tobago Indigenous and Traditional Arts Academy that the Department of Culture is creating. Certified courses for drumming, folk singing and folk dancing are also being developed so that people can have accreditation in these areas as well.
When we certify these persons now can teach professionally these different art forms. When I say professionally, they're already doing it professionally. In some instances, it's just about certification. Evaluation and certification, because we have a lot of traditional knowledge bearers who will be the ones assisting in this area, right? So those benefits is about bringing value to what we already do.
While the academy will target professionals, attention will also be given to training teachers who will then train students at several schools.
Because anytime you talk certification of a particular art form, what you are doing is, in essence, preserving in a way. Because everyone that have a certificate in that, it gives people a more sense of value of what this is. We are also speaking about the fact about opening up that opportunity whereby you of yourself might be asked probably to come and do a workshop somewhere up the island or something. So it's about creating that space where employment can be had.
The duration of the courses will vary from 6 weeks to 6 months. With further development of the programs, it is planned that people from other Caribbean islands can come and be certified in the traditional art forms.
This is part of the Creative and Cultural Industries Trust, right? Because what it speaks to is about education, but it is about educational tourism and research tourism, right? Because that is what we are doing. We are forming a bedrock for that kind of tourism. And I think that is most important for us.
The THA's Department of Culture will be facilitating the courses in collaboration with the National Training Agency and the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. The Oral Traditions course for the Train the Teachers component is expected to begin this month. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Peaceful and tranquil is a perfect description for the Carrawak village, and it also reflects the pace of Tobago. Guests vacationing here often forget that they are close to the airport, as the noise from the aeroplanes is blocked out by the sound of the chirping birds and the gushing mini waterfall. The Tobago Falcons Athletic Club had a message for young athletes at their symposium hosted at the Shaw Park complex. Marlon Gotsleben has this report.
Success on the track is just one aspect of being a student athlete, and Tobago's young athletes are being encouraged to create their own formulas for success. Various sporting officials and athletes, both past and present, attended a symposium recently to provide guidelines to the athletes. The symposium was hosted by the Tobago Falcons Athletics Club at Shaw Park Complex. The athletes learned about preparing for scholarships as well as important life lessons.
It is so important to establish your own definition of success. Otherwise, you might end up chasing a superficial version of success or someone else's definition that will neither fulfill nor satisfy you. The definitions of success are all heavily centered on wealth, fame, or social status.
The country's most successful female field athlete shared her success stories with the students. She's advising them to give their all in whatever they choose to pursue.
Nobody is greater than everybody. We all have a part to play. But we have to play our small part to the best of our ability. Your job in this world is to find out what's your thing. And only you can really figure out what your thing is.
The students also heard that the road to success had many obstacles, which they must overcome to achieve their goals.
The road to success is not straight. There is a curb called failure that you run over from time to time. There is a loop called confusion that you have to navigate through. There are speed bumps called friends, like my friends from Brazil. There are red lights called enemies, and caution lights called family that may complicate your journey.
The Tobago Falcons Athletics Club has been developing athletes in Tobago for the past 17 years. I'm Marlon Gotsleben for Let's Talk Tobago.
Carriwack Village has been awarded the Certificate of Excellence by TripAdvisor for 5 consecutive years. Because of this, they have been the only hotel in Tobago to qualify for TripAdvisor's Hall of Fame. Now come with me as I take you on a journey to the Tobago Library Services. This is part of our segment called Footnotes, where we look at development through the years, the highs and lows, the milestones and the memorable moments since 1980 when the new THA was formed. Here's this week's Footnotes. A library is a unique and valuable resource. It's an important cornerstone of a healthy community. Libraries are portals to knowledge. In Tobago, the Library Services Department is the designated body within the Tobago House of Assembly responsible for the management, coordination and development of library services on the island. The department's responsibilities and functions are built upon a foundation of library services that stretch as far back as 1921, when the Tobago Public Library was established as a subscription library. This service was eventually replaced in 1948 by free public library service for all. But in 1980, when the Tobago House of Assembly was re-established, also came the establishment of the Scarborough Regional Library and the expanding of services through the establishment of branch libraries at Roxborough and Charlottesville. But in 1997, the unthinkable happened. An earthquake destroyed the Scarborough Library, and it was temporarily relocated to the Technical Vocational Wing at the Signal Hill Secondary School in 2000. Only in 2015, Tobago would get one of the most modern libraries in the Caribbean.
Libraries have to stay with the times or else we become obsolete. And information is information no matter what form is available. So there's information on the internet. The libraries have to sort of curate the information so that persons can use the information properly.
In addition to providing library services for babies to seniors, the library also contributes to social development as it offers to groups and individuals several outreach programs which help to support the education process, foster creativity and imagination, facilitate empowerment, capacity building, and social awareness. You see, libraries serve a vital social service by helping bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots, especially when it comes to literacy and computer skills training. So the Scarborough Library facility offers computer classes to seniors and young adults.
Up to Sunday, I went to Trinidad and my little granddaughter on she computer, and I was there with her and I helped her out. Right? We work together.
Young people, and not so young, the youth of yesteryear, could have an opportunity to embrace and read about those persons from yesteryear who would have played a pivotal role in guiding us to this point and who would have developed our society.
They also host summer camps.
We offered an unconventional mixture of activities such as cosmetology, crafts, sign language, Microsoft Office suite applications, coding, martial arts, and Zumba.
According to Mark Twain, and I quote, "The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read," end quote. And the Tobago Library Services is providing all the library and information services to ensure that Tobagonians get the chance to read. It's time to take a break, but when we return, we tell you how these athletes benefit from the Dwight York Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. You're tuning in to Let's Talk Tobago. Thank you for staying with us. Based on what I've shown you so far, I know you're wondering if events are facilitated here. Well, the answer is yes. You can have anything from weddings to retreats right here. Athletes can now enjoy further benefits from the Dwight York Stadium as different schools are able to use it for their sports activities. Here's more in this report.
The Dwight York Stadium's Mondo track means that any record-breaking times on it will be recognized because it is IAAF certified. This is critical for local athletes as they are able to train and maintain world-class standards right at home. It also means that events such as the Trinidad and Tobago Track and Field Development Meet can be hosted on the island, so that our athletes don't have to travel to Trinidad for events or training.
We also have clubs that use it for training in the afternoon. We also have the secondary school championships. There's Zenith Relays, there is Jaguar Games, there's also Falcon Games. And the entries are actually having talks with the Tobago Athletic Committee and the THA to see if they can hold like the junior championships and some other championships in Tobago.
Over $10 million was spent by the Tobago House of Assembly to relay the Mondo track. It's low maintenance and has a lower risk of injury for athletes, which means that both local and foreign-based athletes who return home are able to continue their training.
Sometimes when they come home for holidays, they need a track to where they can continue the light training and so on. They were at a disadvantage, especially the athletes from Tobago. When they come back home, they had to travel to Trinidad and do their training. Now that the track is laid, they are now able to come and they can do their training whilst they're on their vacation.
During the track and field season this year, many schools will also be using the facility for their sports day activities.
It also helps in terms of the Tobago schools where they have the track and field meets, the school sports, where that they can have actual legal timing systems done on the track and they can prepare for the upcoming championships.
The Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs has overall responsibility for the stadium. With continued upgrades, it's hoped that more of our athletes will be able to train, compete, and be selected to represent Trinidad and Tobago at local, regional, and international competitions. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Here at Caravan Village, guests can choose from a variety of options to occupy their time. They have access to yoga, they can take a cool dip in the pool, or even select any of the massages offered. And for children, they can hear their favorite stories on a Sunday. Now, bird lovers from all over gathered at the Scarborough Library facility to tune into a session that gave insights on the birds of Tobago. Let's take a listen.
Do you know the green kingfisher and grey bird? They are two common types of birds found in Tobago. And potential bird watchers learned about these and other species that can be found on the island.
This is the barred antshrike male, locally called the jailbird because he's black and white stripes. But the male here, he's a good father boy. He tends the nest. Oh, this is the brown-crested flycatcher. Yeah, they're around the lowlands here, lowlands area. You won't see them too much up in the hills. A lot of the flycatchers look a lot alike. So, white-necked Jacobin, he's a pretty common one around flowers and bird feeders.
And if you're wondering, how do bird watchers keep track of birds? Well, they use eBird, a free website that allows them to find birds in their area.
eBird is a website based out of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, that keeps tabulations of anybody's birds in the world who wants to just sign up for free. You punch up your location on eBird, where you're at. It's going to give you a full list of all the birds you would expect to find in that location. And you just do it. It's like a checklist. Just check them off.
According to eBird, there are over 200 different bird species in Tobago, hiding in hotspots such as Bonaccord Sewage Treatment Ponds, Blue Waters Inn, and Little Tobago, just to name a few. The frigate bird is one type of bird that can be found in large colonies in Tobago.
St. Giles is right now thought to be the largest breeding colony of the magnificent frigate anywhere in the Caribbean. Right now, estimates are over 2,500 breeding pair of the magnificent frigate there.
The presentation was hosted at the Scarborough Library facilities. I'm Marlon Gottslieben for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear what you, the viewers, have to say. Today we're asking, how do you offer good service to your customers, stakeholders, and employers? While you think about it, let's take a look at who had their say this week.
Asking them, how can I help, just being nice and being polite towards persons.
Giving good customer service, you have to be approachable, because when the customer comes in, the first person they see, they want to know whether they could talk to the person or not. So that's being a warm, friendly person so they could sit down, just answer whatever questions they may.
You can give proper customer service by being polite, being courteous.
Ensuring that my customers, when they leave my desk, they are satisfied with a smile on their face, to ensure that whatever they came to find out about, that I am able to attend to them in a timely manner.
We must always put our customers first and foremost. Always serve them with a smile, always go the extra mile. That is the best way, I believe, for customer service.
We close another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the Tobago welcome for Calypso Rose. Enjoy.